Jerry Mace, the Kickin lawyer. So let's talk about you're innocent. You're accused of an offense, and then the public, people you know, family, alleged friends, are so judgmental on you that you're kind of embarrassed because you were charged with this offense, but you're innocent, right? So I have this happen a lot when I have clients that are just embarrassed because they're in the system and, they are like most people and think, I trust law enforcement, I trust the justice system, but now they're in it and they know they didn't do something and they're getting judged by everybody and their dog. So here's the way I try to put that in perspective for you. By the way, I typically don't judge my clients, whether they did or didn't do it. I deal with people on their worst day a lot of times. So even if they are in fact guilty of some offense, and there's a couple of exceptions, personally, I try to not hold that against the client because it's easy for us to cast judgment on people when we weren't there, we weren't dealing with the circumstances they were, we didn't deal with the backstory they were dealing with, the emotion, etc. So it's very easy to pass judgment. And so fast forward, that's kind of what I advise clients to consider is when people are passing judgment on you, you have to remember that they're not walking in your shoes and it's a them problem, not a you problem. And so instead of feeling like, oh no, I'm embarrassed of it, and that's a normal response, realize that, they're not in your shoes. They're not experiencing what you're experiencing. Their perspective is maybe what yours was before you were accused of this, even though you're innocent. And so since they haven't walked a day in your shoes, it's so easy for them to pass judgment. And unfortunately, until they are in that position where they've been wrongly accused also, they may not understand. And again, that's why it's a them problem and not a you problem. To me, that kind of helps keep it in perspective and maybe not be as bothered by it personally. And again, the best thing you can do is get a lawyer that will fight for you and advocate to prove your innocence. Even though technically there's no burden on us criminal defense lawyers to prove your innocence, you still need somebody that's going to go out there and advocate your position and hold the state to their burden.